Local programming on KRWG made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Community members here in southern New Mexico are beginning to pick up the pieces as the state's largest wildfire continues to burn. Sharon Young still can't believe her home is still standing.
We're thankful that we have our house.
She sits in front of her property, which was built back in 1951. Every day she's assessing the damage caused by the Little Bear fire that started June 4th near Ruidoso.
70 houses gone, a big activity center gone. The camp has lost numerous guests and money. From here all the way up to the ski run, there's houses gone. This area is real famous, popular for vacation rentals. A lot of those cabins or second homes are gone. The impact on our tourism, definitely for our county, is going to be affected.
Neighbors are beginning to pick up what's left of their properties. Many plan to rebuild, but others say they aren't too sure what they plan to do next.
When my husband's grandfather built this house, he planted those trees, that one right there, and those out there. And so that was in 51. So you're looking at about 60 years of growth. So in my lifetime, I'll never see a green forest again.
The Little Bear fire has destroyed more than 240 homes and businesses. Authorities evacuated the area for days, and now people are slowly making their way back.
It's amazing how quickly everybody will pull together. We've already gotten quotes on metals. People are already rebuilding. Insurance companies are already coming through. But it's amazing how something like this can bring a community a lot closer together.
Fire crews say the Little Bear fire is almost fully contained. Recent rain gave firefighters a break. Meanwhile, the Whitewater Baldy wildfire that began May 16th continues to burn and is also close to being contained.
The firefighters are awesome. Craig Van Winkle, the Capitan Fire Crew, we love all those guys. They put themselves out there, and you don't really appreciate it until something like this happens and it hits so close to home.
Bo Perez has never seen anything like what he has seen in the last few weeks.
This is devastating. This is awful.
Perez is with the Salvation Army and is providing emotional and spiritual support for victims of the Little Bear wildfire, which started June 4th.
When people come here, I offer them a bottle of cold water and I listen to them. And while I'm listening, I'm looking to see for signs of distress.
This is all that's left in this community, nothing but debris and the smell of burnt metal and rubber as crews continue to work to contain this wildfire. Hundreds of volunteers are helping people get back on their feet. Utility crews are working hard to restore power.
Brings tears to your eyes, you know, when you see the devastation of the beauty that's been here. We've been coming to Ruidoso for 50 years.
Although her house was spared, others weren't so lucky. The wildfire destroyed many homes and businesses along its path.
We're grateful to God for the beauty that's still left up here, and we're grateful that no lives were lost. That is amazing, this much destruction and no lives. And we're so grateful to all the people, the firemen and volunteers from all over the country who have come here, not just to fight the fire, but to help those who've been affected by the fire.
Firefighters are still working to put out the blaze. Currently, the Little Bear wildfire is close to being fully contained. For KRWG, I'm Katy Fagan.
12-year-old Josh Young is getting his bags ready to go door to door in what used to be his neighborhood.
Well, we sorted through all of them, and then we said, oh, this will fit so-and-so, and we put it in this bag, and this will fit so-and-so, and we put it in this bag.
He is collecting clothes for people who lost everything during the Little Bear fire.
What I did was I called my real mom up in Midland, and I told her to bring all of her friends' clothes and all of her clothes that she doesn't wear. And I know some people that live up in Ruidoso Downs. And my big brother, I told him to bring some clothes, and I told his girlfriend to bring some clothes. So I had like 3 more bags from them.
The bags began to add up, and Josh went to work.
Some of these people's houses didn't deserve to burn, you know? Some of these people were really good people.
The Little Bear Fire has destroyed more than 240 homes and businesses. Fire officials say it's still only 90% contained as firefighters work to put out various hotspots near Ruidoso.
There was a little red house right there, but all these trees and everything was green.
Despite the smell of burned metal and rubber in the air, Josh, like many others, are more than willing to volunteer and help neighbors get back on their feet.
I think it makes them feel good.
The City of Las Cruces leaders are helping keep a former mayor's memory alive by celebrating his accomplishments and honoring his legacy. Alfred Rux is getting ready to honor his cousin, Albert Johnson, who always worked to improve the quality of life around the community.
This was a man that was fully devoted to making Las Cruces and a better place to live. And he had tremendous devotion to his family, to his church, and to his community.
Johnson was born and raised in Tennessee. He graduated from college with a civil engineer degree and later moved to the land of enchantment to work at White Sands Missile Range. Soon after, he became heavily involved in politics.
He's the first African-American mayor in the state of New Mexico and also for the city of Las Cruces.
Current Mayor Ken Miyagishima is honoring Johnson with a portrait that will sit in the lobby of City Hall. It's created by Ben Hazard, whose art also sits in the White House.
Las Cruces is a great community, and that we honor those who helped lay the infrastructure and the groundwork for the great things that we have here today. And Mayor Johnson, among others, also helped and contributed to a great deal of things that we have here that we're so fortunate and thankful for in Las Cruces. And I think that's one of the things that I want people to see.
Johnson was elected to the City Commission in 1968 and served as mayor of Las Cruces from 1976 to 1980. Johnson died in December 1984, but his legacy lives on.
One of the things that Mayor Johnson was instrumental in doing was making sure that we had a fund for street maintenance. You know, right now, to the tune of over $6 million we get every year because of Mayor Johnson's vision, that has allowed us to do a lot of upkeep on a lot of our roads and streets throughout the city.
Besides the portrait, the late mayor has a park dedicated to him with a statue that stands in front of the Brannigan Library.
There's a lot of things many people still don't know about computers, from programming to sending emails, uploading pictures, to simple things such as operating a mouse. That's when Fast Forward New Mexico steps in.
Some of them are going to be unemployed, some of them are going to have jobs, some of them are going to be business owners.
2 levels of classes will be offered. Level 1 will be basic computer skills and introduction to the internet. Level 2 will cover social media.
Social media nowadays, anything and everything, advertisements, it all has to do with like applications right now. And it's slowly moving towards, you know, cell phone technologies, you know, and a lot of people don't know what these things mean, especially the older generations.
One main focus of the class is creating resumes and completing online applications, because instructors say many jobs out there now require applicants to do so via the World Wide Web.
It's a new way of communication nowadays, you know. Social media, thanks to programs like Facebook, we can communicate easily with people on the other side of the world.
Participants in the class will become more qualified for more jobs that require knowledge of this new technology.
It provides opportunities for people that don't have access to the internet or access to computers to gain this knowledge that's necessary in today's economy for work, play, education, entertainment.
Thomas Brannigan Memorial Library received 6 updated laptops to conduct classes, which are free to the public thanks to a grant. For KRWG, I'm Katy Fagan.
17-year-old Ayana Vasquez is just like any other boxer in the ring.
I can beat up a guy, I can beat up a girl. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I'll get beat up too sometimes, but it keeps you going.
Ayana earned the bronze medal last month at the USA Boxing National Tournament. She's one of 2 teens that placed in the entire state of New Mexico.
Fighting with a guy is a little harder, a little tougher, but when I go to fight with a girl, it's nothing because I've already been hit the worst with a guy, so it's easier.
16-year-old Edmund Guzman, a state champion and now a silver medal winner at the same tournament, admits every event gives him more and more confidence.
It inspires me to work harder because I proved to myself that I can make it, and my coaches, they proved me too that I can make it, so I'm just working harder now.
The teens are members of the Las Cruces Police Athletic League Boxing Club. It's a program dedicated to taking at-risk youth off the streets.
Besides sportsmanship, I think they're learning discipline. One, they learn teamwork in how to support one another. There's a lot of camaraderie there.
Through the program, teens improve on their studies. Many make it through college, and some even go on to win national titles. Or, like Guzman and Vasquez, are honored with the keys to the city.
You get a good feeling of accomplishment, whether you help one kid or you help 20 kids. If you help one kid and you pull them out of the jaws of self-destruction, then I think you've accomplished everything that God put you on the planet to do, just saving one kid.
There are many things 25-year-old Ivan Aguilar is hoping to accomplish before he reaches a certain age.
I think for me it's kind of like, it means something to people. So like if I do decide, or if I do get up to where I'm at, I want to be like a role model for mainly just kids and people just around the world. Just do something that really means something. Not just, I mean, I could do something in the community, yes, but I want something global.
Ivan once thought about pursuing a career in civil engineering, but things changed when he joined the El Paso acting studio.
I wanted to do this since I was little.
The group meets every week at the home of actor and acting coach Todd Carroll. Students learn the ins and outs of the business, a powerful tool that helps them succeed.
In the beginning, it's nerve-wracking, but you have to learn how to control your nerves, and that's really the biggest part that's, for me, kind of controlling my nerves and trying to stay calm, because at the same time, it's nobody else but you.
Only important thing.
Okay, so say that line again.
The actors, some new, some seasoned, are teamed up. Together, they do their warm-ups before every session begins.
They're awesome. They're not awesome.
They're really awesome.
They're not awesome.
They're great and awesome.
It's not a huge acting hub here in El Paso. Instead of teaching individual classes like, say, the Meisner technique or acting through imagery or camera technique, it's kind of a potluck because of the number of students I have.
The students, mostly Hispanic, are enrolled in the class. After a few sessions, some realize acting isn't for them, but for many others, practice is how they become better at their craft.
I have to bring them down to earth and tell them there's no magic pill. 3 months is 12 classes. So here's my analogy. If I woke up one day and said, I want to be a brain surgeon, and I took 12 classes on how to be a brain surgeon, would you let me cut your brain open?
Acting isn't just about memorizing lines. Todd Carroll insists it's how you bring your character to life.
I auditioned for the lead, but I got the walrus.
Michael Wheelwright's first acting job happened in elementary school in the play Alice in Wonderland. He's received other offers since then, including a few local film roles.
For me, I think it's more about what you love to do, and like it's something I like to do. I love to do it, so why wouldn't I want to try to do it for the rest of my life?
While in the acting studio, students learn a little bit about themselves as they access emotions and overcome stage fright, all while gaining experience, confidence, and a few contacts.
I play a good guy, bad guy. Although I am a really good-natured person, I guess they say sometimes you can play your opposite really good. So I play quite a few bad guys and some good guys too. I like all of them. Hector Dez has spent the last 4 years acting. He says auditioning for parts can be a grueling process. I had to work on my English. I just went to an audition recently where the director basically told me, because of your accent, I'm gonna have to work with you a bit and look at other actors. And I think personally that if it wasn't because of my accent, I would have gotten the role. I'm still working on it. Taking an acting class helps with that. And experts in the industry say having a good acting coach can provide good, constructive, and personal feedback to help improve your acting abilities. They say getting in the industry won't make you rich and famous right away.
I've been pursuing this for 13 years. And I can honestly say I haven't made a single dollar. I've been paid for some of the shows I've done, but if I account for all my headshots, all my training, gas, you name it, I mean business cards, I'm in the hole probably 60 grand, over 13 years, maybe more, I don't know. I don't want to add it up.
I decided to spend my life trying not to just stop bullying, but to change violent ways and negative aspects of humanity.
12-year-old Darren Getz is reading something he posted on Facebook not too long ago.
It might be hard and will take generations, but maybe if I start a movement now, who knows, maybe word can end. very unlikely, but it's worth a shot.
Darren is giving a voice to the many victims of bullying.
I'm not stopping at that. What about injustice? What about child abuse? What about homicide? It seems impossible, but the world peace is worth the try. I feel bad for the kids that get bullied. Like, I feel really bad for them, like it shouldn't happen to them.
He created a page where his classmates at Sierra Middle School can go and vent, but mostly to support the end of bullying.
Because, like, it's not right.
Darren says bullying happens before and after school, and especially during lunchtime. He's also seen it happen off campus.
Well, like, I see a bunch of stuff happening around, like kids getting pushed and stuff, and like I'm like, man, that's sad. And like you'll see at the mall kids getting put down. I just feel ashamed of them.
Darren used to be bullied and wants to help others overcome it. He says taking a stand is the first step.
I don't really care. I mean, like, it wasn't that bad for me. I just ignored them and they went away. And they stopped bothering me. And they started kissing up to me.
Everyone's circumstance is different. Darren's father says being bullied can often be a difficult thing to walk away from. The Facebook page called Stop Bullying, Act Now is giving young people a new avenue to find that needed support.
He's always helped kids younger than him. And he's got a good head on his shoulder. We don't help him write any of his papers. He thinks of it all of himself. He comes up with these ideas.
The webpage is getting a lot of attention and bringing the issue to light, which Don Getz says is a good thing.
A lot of parents don't pay attention. For instance, he filled out his schedule last year for the classes in school for this year, and we weren't even aware of it. And I asked the school about it, and they said, well, we already did that. And I said, well, my son isn't going to decide his life. I do. And they said, well, we didn't. We just have the kids do it. And this is, the parents have to take more, pay attention.
For now, the prevention campaign will be online. Students plan to make posters and create flyers to bring even more awareness to other young people.
You look around Las Cruces, you look around other places, it's just sad. I mean, like, it's hopeless around here. Like, no one ever stands up about bullying and stuff here. You see Cartoon Network stuff, but no one's ever going to pay attention to that. So I'm like, I'm just going to take a stand and like get my friends to get with me and get more people and get support.
Rising prices at the pump and a weak economy are not normal things people smile about. But a new college course being developed will test just how important happiness can be in someone's life. Everybody has their own definition of happiness.
I think happiness is something that is achieved through hard work. I don't think it's something that is easily attainable.
Happiness comes from within, not from without. And you don't need anything or anyone.
But Mark Walker, assistant professor of philosophy for New Mexico State University, has a different take on the subject.
There's two main competing schools of thought. One is that happiness is sort of a cognitive attitude. If you reflect on your life and you say, yeah, I think it's going pretty well, and they call you happy. Other people think it has to do with positive moods and emotions. And my view is that both are wrong and both are right. That is, they each have a partial view, and that the most complete form of happiness has the emotional and the cognitive elements combined together.
Walker is working on a 2-year, $25,000 project from the National Endowment for the Humanities Enduring Questions grant program. He's developing a course titled, Should We Want to Be Happy?, where students explore the nature of happiness and how to obtain it.
All of us, hear people say, oh, I don't, want to be famous or rich, I just want to be happy. I just want my children to be happy. But when you ask people what happiness is, you get this sort of wall of silence.
The subject of happiness is already sparking an interest among students who will get the chance to study the works of Plato and Aristotle.
I think there's a lot of people who could benefit from learning about it. I mean, self-exploration is something that's understated a lot of times.
We're all here to self-improve and to better ourselves, so if I can take a class that complements that, I'd absolutely take advantage of it.
The community will also get a chance to be part of the course. One assignment includes getting the public's opinion on what happiness means to them. School leaders say the course will be available in the 2013 spring semester. For KRWG, I'm Katy Fagan.
Joseph Ortiz is your typical teenager. He loves hanging out with his friends, he works hard to get good grades, and enjoys being active. His favorite sport is swimming.
I've been swimming since I was 6 years old.
it can be very competitive, and for Joseph, swimming is also one of the only things to help keep him calm and focused.
It's where I belong. I don't know, the water just makes me feel at home.
You see, when Joseph turned 8, he was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome, a neurological disorder where a person has both motor and vocal tics.
What it is my brain actually is built differently and chemically different than your brain or his brain. I mean, of course, everyone's brain is different, but mine especially so. And because of that, my brain has a lot of extra nerve synapses, and a lot of those manifest themselves in the form of tics.
When he's in the water, those tics seem to vanish, but outside the pool, Joseph can't help his actions.
They're uncontrollable. I'm not choosing to do them. Like you may notice, I'll shake my head a lot, or I'll wave my hands a lot. I'll clack my teeth back and forth.
When most people talk about Tourette's syndrome, they think of coprolalia, a symptom causing a person to blurt out profanities, but that tic is uncommon. Less than 10% of people with Tourette's actually have it. Joseph is one of the few. He developed coprolalia in middle school.
You can suppress them for a while, just as you could start not blink your eyes for a while. But then I would have to take a lot more afterwards, just as your eyes would start to sting, and then you have to just close your eyes.
Experts say Tourette's is no longer considered a rare condition. Between 1 and 10 children per 1,000 have Tourette's, and as many as 10 per 1,000 people have tic disorders such as eye blinking, coughing, throat clearing, sniffing, and facial movements.
Tourette's has it has its difficulties. It has a lot of strings attached to it. It's really hard. School is really hard. Doing a lot of activities is really hard, especially if you're ticking while you're doing them, but I feel it's made me a better, stronger person as a result.
Tourette's has also given Joseph more confidence. He recently became the youth ambassador to the Tourette Syndrome Association, bringing awareness to people throughout southern New Mexico.
A lot of part of my job and part of my experience growing up actually has been to deal with people who don't know about Tourette's, because the majority of people know nothing about Tourette syndrome. But in my experience, especially pertaining to the whole bullying in the schools campaign, in my experience, the kids in the schools are some of the most compassionate and kind and understanding people I've ever met. I mean, my friends are amazing. They've helped me through, thick and thin, anything that I can talk to them about anything, and it's great. And because they genuinely, I feel that they genuinely express interest. Like, they want to learn, they want to know.
Joseph visits organizations and schools who want to learn more about Tourette's. His favorite moments are when those in his class discover many people with Tourette's syndrome can accomplish pretty much anything they want.
I can drive. I can drive really well.
How long have you been driving?
I've been driving since, actually not even that long, like 2 weeks ago, a week. But sometimes the tics will act up and I'll need to pull over maybe and just take a break, have something to drink or something,
Joseph is encouraged by all the support. He says he's eager to lobby at the state capitol or even in Congress on behalf of the many people living with Tourette's syndrome. In the meantime, he plans to continue doing what he loves while inspiring others just like him to be active, whether it's in the community or in sports.
Any kid who has Tourette's syndrome or ADHD or OCD, any type of disorder that can cause a lot of distraction or cause a lot, definitely be involved in sports. It's wonderful because it helps get all of that energy out. It helps get whatever you need to do out.
Even as a young man, Patrick Perez always had time for others, listening to people's problems, giving his friends advice, and sharing with young person after young person his passion for breakdancing.
I really never decided to do this. This was more one of those things that I just love doing.
Patrick Perez, whose nickname is Pac-Man, visits classrooms nationwide, empowers young people to create better futures by encouraging them to make better choices.
I communicate with teens on their level. I've had to inundate myself with teen culture. I love listening to NPR. I love listening to you know, just different stuff. I'm not all about Justin Bieber and all these other pop culture stars. But if you want to connect with teenagers, that's the level you have to come in on. You're not really changing your material, you're changing your approach. And one thing I always tell people is not really what you say, it's how you say it.
Talking to teens about sometimes sensitive topics such as dating, pregnancy, self-esteem, and drug prevention can sometimes be difficult. So Perez uses his fancy footwork to get his message across.
I'm one of those weird people that dances at Starbucks, I dance at church, I dance wherever I'm at, and people are just like, oh dear God, help them. And so now I just shifted that energy into schools, conferences, the National Guard, FCCLA, just different programs with the dance, just doing what I love, doing what excites me. Because I'm one of those people that's very easily bored. And if I'm there just like this, the kids are probably gonna be there just like this. So with the music and dancing, it helps out.
Perez is the author of the book Mad Skills for Student Success, a guide giving students the tools to obtain better grades, create a positive future, and take control of their lives.
But I come in and I just help them understand, you know, who you are is who you need to be. You don't need to change for your boyfriend, you don't need to change for your girlfriend or your friends on Facebook, whoever. You be who you are because that's who you were created to be. If people accept you, awesome. If they don't accept you, that's their problem.
Educators say programs like this give students a new outlook on life and inspires them to reach their full potential.
As long as you step out in the real world and try something new for yourself, it's gonna help you.
It's also pushing others to follow in Perez's footsteps.
Further than what I thought I could reach, to go to college, get a good life, get a good career, and become someone in this life that can help others to succeed as well.
Another important lesson Perez teaches students is how to stand up to bullies. During every program, he brings a topic center stage.
Bullying is no longer just an issue in the hallways, it's an issue online. It's cyberbullying, texting, sexting, all of this type of stuff is now growing to a point where no longer is it just somebody getting bullied, you know, in the hallways. Like when you were young, when I was young, getting chased around the playground, getting that wedgie. Now it's, okay, we're gonna watch you get bullied, but now we can have our little flip cam here and record that, show it to the world. Now I can not only bully you here in the classroom, I can get onto your Facebook profile and post some junk about you. And so now it's growing to this point where it's just, okay, how do we stop this? How do we stop this? The simplest thing, like for the cyberbullying, I just tell people, power off.
Finding the right college can be a challenging task, but ask many of the Hispanic students listening to Perez speak, and you'll notice they have a different outlook on life.
So there's not a big push a lot of times for students to go to college. It's mostly, mija, mijo, you know, stay here, help out with the family. You know, your dad works a lot, we need you here to help babysit the kids. We need you to get a job, mijo, to go support us, help out with the family. Have your the parents saying, do this, you know, stay here, work. But then you have educators, people like myself. Higher education is the answer. Get out there, do something different, then you can come back and help out.
In the borderland, Perez says it's a cultural mindset and an ideology he faces every year. He knows he can't change everyone's mind, but enjoys the opportunity to at least try.
Everybody has their own story that somebody else will be able to attract to. I can't reach every student, but there's other counselors, there's teachers, maybe even just friends of friends or a coach, that their story matters, that what they have to offer, that stuff can help out. You don't need to be the dancing, crazy, freaky guy like me. You just need to be that person who's able to reach out and actually help somebody else out.